Chapter 25, Under the Pillow. Okay, before I read chapter 25, let's go back to chapter 24 and see where I stopped, okay? So, there's this part is about a figure coming closer in on Elfie. So, with the figure closing in on him, there was nowhere to run. To fight was the only option. Elfie leaped out of bed. He charged towards the figure, making wild circles in the air with his fist as he cried, "Ah!" And then, okay, next chapter. "Ah!" shouted the figure before adding, "Please, please, please don't hurt me." It was the unmistakable voice of Raj. So it was Raj. Elfie lit the candle by his bed with a match and brought it closer to the shadowy shape. It was the unmistakable face of Raj. The panic was over. Elfie swallowed hard and croaked, "Raj, what on earth are you doing here?" "You frightened me!" exclaimed the newsagent. "You frightened me more," replied the boy. "Well, I think you frightened me more." "No, you actually frightened me more." No, you definitely 100% frightened me more," protested Raj, "and no returns." There was little point arguing with the man. The newsagent was well known for being frightened easily. Local gossip, not gossip that means like you have a conversation about other people. Sometimes it's not true. Local gossips had it he once ran out of his shop screaming after he swore he saw one of his 2p jelly snakes moving. Alright, conceded, that means agreed Elfie. "But I thought you were, the tooth snatcher." "I'm not," replied Raj. "My name is Raj, and I am your news agent." Yes, I know who you are," said the boy, exasperated. Now, exasperated means irritated and frustrated. "What are you doing here?" At that moment, what seemed like a huge gust of freezing cold air came in through the window. It blew the candle out. "It's dark in here," whimpered Raj. Whimpered, that means like making sounds of fear, like this, okay? "It's okay, just let me find my matches." Elfie groped, that means like try to search, okay? Grope by his bedside table, which was really just an upturned milk crate, and lit the candle. Now his bedroom felt undecidedly chilly, that means cold, as he moved over to the window and closed it. Feeling more than a little spooked, that means feeling a little frightened, he locked it too. So he locked the window. "Well, I was lying in my bed above the shop and I couldn't help worrying about you, all alone waiting for this." Raj struggled to find the right word. Finally, he settled on thing. "Well, that's kind of you, Raj, but honestly, I was fine," lied Elfie. "It must be the middle of the night now, but there has been absolutely no sign of anything." "And my tooth is still under your pillow?" "Oh yes," said Elfie, moving over to the bed. "I put it just here, look." But when the boy lifted the pillow, the tooth wasn't there. Something else was. Oh no, what was it? Something horribly horrible. Something dreadfully dreadful. An eyeball! The long silky nerve, this is the long silky nerve, at the back was still attached. It was flailing, that means like wiggling, swinging very wildly, about as if it were a tail, making the eyeball twitch and wiggle on the mattress like a tadpole on dry land. "Ah!" screamed Raj. Elfie, who, as we know, thought of himself as being a tiny bit braver than the newsagent, screamed too. "Ah!" The boy's scream was even louder. "It's an eyeball!" screamed Raj. "I know," said Elfie, "but it's an actual eyeball." "Yes, but let's all try and stay calm," said the boy. "This is a clue." Elfie slowly and steadily brought the candle down to examine the eyeball. It was unusually large. It was the size of a ping pong ball. The eyeball had to be from a large animal or perhaps a giant. Just then the eyeball turned and looked straight at him. Ah! Screamed Elfie. Oh! Screamed Raj. It looked at me! Spluttered the boy. It looked at me straight in the eye. Thump, thump, thump. Someone was banging on the wall. Raj screamed again and tried to leap into Elfie's arm. Look, Raj jumped into Elfie's arm. That's my dad in the next room. Oh, sorry, said the newsagent, trying to calm himself. His nerves were shot to pieces tonight. I always leaped into my mother's arms whenever I saw a mouse. So he always leaped into his mother's arms whenever he saw a mouse. Well, you are too heavy. I know, mother told me that when I tried to do it last week. So he still does it to his mother. Elfie looked at the newsagent, utterly incredulous. That means Elfie was unable to believe that Raj still jumped into his mother's arm. Thump, thump, thump. Dad was banging on the wall again. Son, are you all right? He coughed and spluttered from the next room. Just coming, Dad. Elfie rushed out of his room and down the corridor to his father's bedroom. The petrified, that means the very, very frightened newsagent trailing close behind. Raj? Asked Dad, really quite bemused. Hello, Mr. Griffin, said Raj brightly, pretending that being in the men's bungalow in the dead of night was perfectly normal. Look, if it's about the newspaper bill, I was meaning to, began Dad. Raj smiled. My friend, the newspaper bill has been long forgotten. So what are you doing here? Asked Dad. Raj looked over to Elfie. Dad followed his gaze. Suddenly, all eyes, apart from the one in the room next door, were staring at him. Well, said Dad, I think it's about time you told me the truth, my lad. My lad was something Dad only called Elfie when he had done something wrong. Elfie knew that. He took a deep breath. It was finally time to tell his father the whole story.